Oh, well, it was just playing right through this. It was still going onto my speakers. What the? Oh, this is a professional deal here, let me tell you. All right, so it's Tuesday. If you didn't tune in yesterday, this is Panic Painting. There's a 2,000 point tournament coming up on Saturday at Gigabytes in Marietta, the Grand Melee. Still spots as far as I know. I hadn't heard any different. I think they're capping it at 64. I don't think they've topped out yet, but if you're interested, check it out. I'll probably put the link at the bottom of in the comments, in the thingy-mabobber, on the whatchamacallit. We're completely professional here, okay? So I'm still in panic mode. I've got a bunch of stuff to paint for my buddy Jacob. Every time I think I've got all the stuff, I get more, because he's going to need one of these. And then last night, for my army, you know, it's the Tuesday before the tournament. Why have everything ready to go, right? So we're yeah, there's a big I'm not freaking out yet, but I'm getting there. So I'm gonna do another Kurnoth Hunter, because, well, you gotta have 3 of these bad boys, and there's 2 that are looking very, very pale. And so let's just get to it and see what we can get done. We'll go over here. It's the Kurnoth that no, we're not doing the Arch Reverend. No. So this is another one of the blade ones. We did one of these the other day. Now he's got all his mushrooms and all that fun stuff. He's all his little glowy bits. Trying to decide whether or not to do the blue again on the undercoat. You can see in there he's got this little pod that's just a glowing. I guess that's what keeps him moving. But alright, should we do the blue again on the skin? I'm gonna have to wait 20 seconds for anybody to go yes, no, maybe. Oh, let's see. Branch Witch. So I got to finish up her hair. That's got the little metal thing down there, and I hadn't done the little piece of metal down there, so still have to finish that up, but it's almost done. And then the Branch Wraith. I don't know which one's which. This is the one we did yesterday. I finished it up on stream. Showed you all the little detail stuff that we do for that. So Alright, Jacob says do the blue. So we're going to start off with the Fang. We'll get in there. Actually, yeah, no. We're going to get in there and we're at least going to get the base coat down in there. Because we've seen this before. Boom! Something I didn't cancel. I don't know what that thing is. It's something from the internet. But it reminds me of that noise that they make on the airplanes. Boom! Please return to your seats. Alright. Why is that brush acting up already? That is not good. So it's one of those, like, not cold, but cool, rainy, dreary days outside. And it really affects how fast I move. Alright. That's the smaller brush. That's what's going on. Jeez. Yeah, I'm wide awake, folks. That's why the coffee's there. And I actually remembered to record it this time, so later on, if you're going to lunch right now and just like, oh, well, I don't have time to do this, I gotta go get food or whatever, not a problem. If you want to see what I did for the day, you can go over to YouTube, and it's Llama Juice with a capital L, and don't forget there's 2 L's in llama, and capital J on the juice. And like I said, if you can't watch or just want to see, what you missed for the day, because, you have things like I have to shovel food into my face or I will pass out. If you go over to YouTube, you can check these out. I post them up. Unless I forget to record them, like I did yesterday. That's why there was no content put up yesterday on YouTube. Because there's a little button that you have to click. Hey Emily, how's it going? Yep, okay, I'm back off the camera again. Woohoo! Alright, so I'm thinking about changing up the camera setup. So instead of this little side shot over here, I was thinking about trying to do one to where it was like straight down. Like straight over the model, straight down like this. And that would do 2 things, because I keep my wet palette right underneath where I'm painting. You'd actually get to see what colors are on the palette and how thin or how thick we're going with them. And 2, it might be a little easier for me to keep the model on the screen. Sorry, I got quiet right there. It's a Kurnoth Hunter. It's Age Sigmar. The Sylvaneth, the tree folks. It's one of their. I don't think these guys are battle line, but they're. I played against Jacob last night, and these guys took out 20 demonettes like it was nothing. They hit hard. And they look cool. Because, we're definitely not borrowing from The Hobbit or anything like that. Walking trees. Nope. Not doing it. Lord of the Rings. Nope. Nope, don't know what you're talking about. So there's a larger model called Durthu that I did. If you go over to Instagram, you can find him. He's one of the giant tree folks. They stand about yay tall, or they're pretty big. But this blue undercoat, the box art on him actually has that blue under, I don't know, the inner wood. That doesn't sound right at all. But whatever it is, this inner part, the pulp, that doesn't sound right either. It had it in this blue color scheme. And I really liked it. And when I did it on Durthu, it turned out really well. I really like it. And so it's sort of become like one of my favorites. And I just thought it would be neat to have a unit with all of the, maybe these guys like later turn into that big Tree Lord Ancient or something. I don't know. Do they keep growing? I don't know that much about their lore, so I'm not the person to ask. But I'm the person talking about it. So like I said, we got that big tournament coming up on Saturday. I got 1,500 point game in against these guys last night with my demons, the Hedonites of Slaanesh. The same army. I actually didn't take Elizabeth, the one that I did on stream a while back. I didn't take her with me last night. She was sitting here all by herself. But I also played at a 1,500 point, so I was pretty sure I had to pull one Keeper of Secrets out of my list anyway to get it down to 1,500 points. And so, yeah, I really didn't think I was going to need a third. Alright, so there's a couple little gaps, like up here in the hips, where that blue would show through, and it's a pain in the butt to get to, and you can't hit it without hitting the little armor plates around it. So we'll just hit it, try to wipe off what we can, and then whatever's left, we'll just go back with a little grace here, go over it, get rid of that. I did not mean to get that water in there. There we go. Now I'm going to switch back to that smaller brush that was giving me trouble at the very beginning. And go up here around his neck. This is the part where it becomes a bear trying to get down along the collar, I guess is what you'd call it. I don't know what's going on with this brush, but it is not a happy brush. Not happy at all. That was the brush equivalent of waterboarding it. So sometimes the brushes start acting up, and I'm off the camera. They start acting up and splitting like that. Man. So I got blackout curtains on my window that's right in front of me, but apparently the bottom of the storm, or the bottom just dropped out. outside. Because normally I don't hear it when it rains, but damn. Look around, see if there's any spots that I can get to. There we go. Well, it's hard to reach spots. We find a way. But I think we hit absolutely everything else too on the way in there. We're going to let that dry a little bit. And we're going to grab... Nope, that's not it. That's not what we're looking for. Alright, we're going to grab a little Lorn Forest. There's a little spot inside the chest of these. I mean, when I say we're going to grab a little, I mean we're just grabbing like a little dot of this stuff because we don't need a whole lot. Did turn my volume up. Yep, okay. Oh, looky there. Apparently we are having technical difficulties. So I don't know what happened on y'all's end, but on this end I suddenly started seeing the stream. Like when you start a stream, there's a little page that comes up with all the information, like the ingest, the URL, and all that stuff. And I started seeing that. So I'm assuming that it lost signal for a second. That would be good old Comcast striking again. So what I'm doing is there's a little... Right inside his chest there's a little gem thing held by a vine. I'm just getting that vine real quick. It's not the easiest thing to reach, but it's not impossible. It's one of those things you see on the model. Oh, that's really cool, until you try to paint it. And it's like, ah! Sorry, I'm a little snuffly today. And yeah, I'm drowning in my own snot. It's great. Alright. So, to give it that nice little glowy sort of look, because I like making that gem glow a little bit, we're going to take a little Bealtan, and it's coated in white, so this is going to make it green, a bright green. But then once this dries, I'll go back over it with yellow, and we'll hit it with that, and that will really make that Joker stand out in there. Look like it's glowing. So it's just a little dab of that. Let's see if I can get that light. There we go. So right there in the center. Easy peasy. There we go. We're all over the place today. So usually all right, so this is because I made a bunch of these, this is a wildwood mix I got. I basically cut it half and half with contrast medium, because I've got so many of these. It's like I gotta make like a pot of this. It's just an empty GW pot. Don't even remember what color it was, but whatever it is, I used all of it. And so I had that empty pot sitting around and made that mix. It Wildwood goes down really, really dark. You know what? I don't want to do this one quite like that. We're going to stop. Nope. We're not doing that one like this. We are going to make this one look more like a dead tree. I don't know why. I just want to. We're going to take storm vermin fir. Sort of a gray-brown color. That's what we're going to use for the base of the bark. Get a little water in that. I don't know. I started to do it in a standard brown, and it's nope. Don't want to do that. So I'm not too worried. I want to go right up along where the where that edge. There's like these little branches and stuff along the edge of the armor. I want to just make sure that I get all the way up to that, so I actually go over into the border of it a little bit, just so I don't leave any white sticking around. Yep. So I think I did 3 archers, Karnoth hunters with bows, and then I did 3 with sais. And I think there's another unit of these that Jacob has that have the swords, and all 3 of those are painted different with the swords. I think all the sais are actually like the standard brown, but yeah, I painted all the other ones like a different color. Like one looks like a cherry tree. One looks sort of like an ash tree. You know, that sort of off-white with the streaks and stuff going through it. And this one, I don't know. I just something. This one's gonna look different. So. We're just gonna. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna take this storm vermin fur, and it's sort of that grayish brown, and I'm gonna take either a Thonian camo shade, which is a greenish brown wash, and hit that in there. Or I may just take Agrax, which is less green, more brown, and run that in there. Anytime you put Agrax on something, it looks more earthy. Okay, imagine that. The browns come through. It looks dirty, almost. It has that aged dirt sort of look to anything. You can just instantly put it on there with that stuff. So maybe we do both. We'll just see what this little guy says as I get him done. Maybe I should be concerned that the little models talk to me, but we're just going to go with it. You killed what already? You killed the trees? Remember, only you can prevent forests. I may have that backwards. Just going back, making sure I got enough paint on there. Like this leg over here, I definitely watered it down a little bit. That color's peeking through. I want this a little darker. Get down around this leg. Bloop. Oh, you killed these hunters. No, you killed the other hunters. This is a second group of blade hunters. So. So last night, I played Jacob down at Gigabytes, or up at Gigabytes, or whichever direction it is. He got a unit, a 3-blade unit, which is what I'm working on right now. And then there's ones with these giant Grim Reaper looking Sai things. Yeah, you got the painted ones. They got into. I got 2 line troops, 2 different types of line troops, or at least in the list that I was playing last night. I had 20 demonettes, and then I had 2 units of Hellstriders, which are little mortal guys running around with all these demons on these weird. Oh man, what's the name of that movie? Wizards. If you've ever seen Wizards, the little mount that they have, imagine that with its tongue sticking out like, you know, it looks a lot like that. It's these weird 2-footed ostrich-necked things that they ride around on. It's one of those things, you gotta see this. I can't describe it. But it's a bunch of guys running around, chasing the demonettes, trying to help them out. Yes, that film, if you've never seen it, yeah, that film is nuts. But I don't know what it is. Every now and then I just gotta go back and watch it again. I'll find it on Amazon Prime or something, and I gotta watch it again. Or sometimes it shows up on. I think it's shown up on Netflix a couple of times. It's one of those ones where I can't bring myself to buy it to where I have it, but anytime I see it, it's like, yeah, I'll watch that. Yeah. there were a lot of drugs harmed in the making of that film. By harmed, I mean consumed. So here comes the tricky part. That little hollow that's in the center of his chest. It's called Wizards. The movie that I was talking about. It's called Wizards. I'm trying to think of when it came out. I want to say it was like 78, 79, somewhere in there. It is some trippy art. Some of the art looks like heavy metal, and then like in the middle of all that there's suddenly, there we go, 77. Right. It's really it yeah. Um then suddenly there's like a character, the princess suddenly looks like something out of oh man, what was the name of the video game? I'll think of it here in a minute, but I can't think of it right now. They just did, like, it showed up in Stranger Things, the last season of Stranger Things, and I can't think of a dungeon. No, Dungeon Lair. No, Lair. I can't think of it. We'll fix this in post. Oh wait, it's a live show. I was about to say Fritz the cat. Yeah, I couldn't think of that one either. Um, mm, like Cool World. Did he do did he do Cool World? I mean, it seems sort of toned down from what he did, but yeah, yeah, that's right. The ones where the orcs talked really funny right to the point where they started singing. Yep. If you've never seen the old Lord of the Rings, you know, the orcs talk like idiots right to the point where it's time to sing. And apparently, musicals are like their thing. I almost started singing "Where There's a Whip, There's a Way." You honestly, compared to the other ones, so the animation style is there, but it's not the same type of story that he normally does. It's like let's make an adult cartoon, but dial it back. And let's put Brad Pitt in it. Bing. Welcome to another exciting episode of Justin Base Coats a Model. Today's model is a Karnoth hunter that I have decided to try to make look like a dead tree. Available from GW at the low price of your left arm. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Can't remember what the name of the movie is. Him and Clooney did not the Ocean's movies, but there's another movie where Brad Pitt's like a personal trainer. He's in this closet hiding because freaking I just said his name. Anyway, he gets blasted in the face with a gun. I mean, just like out of nowhere. You're like, he gives this like weird smile and just gets completely destroyed. And it's one of those moves where it's like, did that just really happen? Every time I see him now, all I see is that little face that he made right before. Because, like, it's one of those ones where you gotta sort of back it up and go, did he? Yep. remember what that one's called. Yes, Burn After Eating. That was it. Yeah. Yeah, now every time I see Brad Pitt, all I see is him in that closet getting shot. It's just, I don't know why my brain instantly goes to that, but. That one was Coen Brothers too? Damn. Hi, Kai. Which, oh, so yeah, I liked it. It was funny, but or his performance made me laugh. Did they did they do Men That Stare at Goats too? I couldn't remember. Cool. Okay. So just trying to get the bass down, going around. I've got it watered down, so I just don't want it to be too thin because I want this to be a darker bark. Okay. Leo. I guess I should like actually say what's going on in the chat when I start responding to it. We were talking about the movie Men That Stare at Goats, and I couldn't remember the director's name, or I couldn't remember if that was a Coen Brothers. But apparently, Grant Heslov did that one, and apparently his other film was Catch Me If You Can. We're just, and apparently he also did Dante's Peak, Scorpion King, which we're not gonna. Ooh, well, Congo. He did the X Files. So like the new one or the old one? Apparently, he also did the X Files movies, or movie. Cause isn't there an older one too? Not the one that they just did, or am I thinking Firewalk with Me? That's friggin' Twin Peaks. Let's see, we'll have to go back and retouch that shoulder. Oh, nope. Okay. Swing and a miss. Oh, he showed up as an actor in it. Okay. Oh, all right. He only directed Men Who Stare at Goats. A wiki page jumbled and confusing? I am shocked. Shocked, I say. Alright, so where I hit this with brown earlier, I'm just going to go back over it with the storm vermin. Because, yeah. That brush is not happy again. So the looking up at the, it like tells me like the stats and stuff on the stream as it goes and everything, and I know that I've been having some little hitches, but it's saying that it's broadcasting 720 and it's doing 30 frames a second. I don't know what y'all are watching on or anything like that, but is the picture and everything doing all right for y'all? I know generally if you have something going on Facebook, it usually goes about 320 default, but you can dial that up if you want in the settings. Just didn't know if it was something that I needed to address or not. What do y'all think? You think maybe just paint it all in the storm vermin fur and then use the shades to do the, like the edge, use the different shades to make it go a different color? Or do I want to go a different, no, I think I'm going to go darker is what I'm going to do. Because yeah. Make sure I got the underneath of those. Right there along the edge. There's just a couple spots where it sort of, you can sort of see a brush stroke here and it just went real thin. So I'm just going to go back, hit those a little bit. So I think what happened is I didn't clean my brushes out. I didn't use the soap on them yesterday after the stream, and they're having a little bit of, so as the paint dries in there, it'll separate out the bristles sometimes. You just gotta make sure you clean your brushes real well. Man, did I just water that down. Oh, it's underneath my face. That was nice. So I sort of pooled it over his eyes and stuff, and I'm just going to go back and grab some of that extra paint that went in there. Go up. If your brushes start splitting all the time, you can clean them up and then leave a little bit of the soap in them, like overnight or a day or whatever you can do. And so I've also heard to try conditioner because they're hair. So if you put conditioner in there and let it set, that supposedly that will help redo the point on your brush. I haven't tried that one yet, but I mean, it sort of makes sense. Sort of, kind of, maybe. Wow, there's a giant spot under the bottom of his foot that's just blazing white that I just missed. Alright. Alright, we're going to let that set for a minute. Dry up. Until I see like this spot of white that's sticking through there that's driving me bonkers. We're going to go to some Nylock oxide. It's a technical. This stuff's pretty thin on its own, so I don't usually put this on the wet palette because I usually don't use it too much. Like, there's nothing that I've done that's like really coated in that stuff, but. So we're going to go up here to his blade because we make all the blades glowy. These guys. And these blades on these guys are real touchy. They really like to just snap for no apparent reason. Like if you look at them cross-eyed, they'll just break. Sandy put in the chat, he's fine, done, move on to the next one. No. Well, I'm in a rush and I am panicking a little bit. I'm not panicking that bad, damn it. Not yet. And then this little like center seal thing I always do in the glow. Right there in the center. Just put that all in it. Let that dry up because as it dries, it'll thin. It'll thin, and some of that gray and the white will show from underneath it, and I'll go back and touch it up a little bit to make it look at least a little more solid, and then we just put some lines around it. It ends up looking like that. I usually go back with the Veil Tan and hit that little leaf thing in the center. just to change the color on it a little bit. Let's see, that's the fang. We're going to take rust gray. Just a little bit of that. Watch out on these GW pots. The back side of them likes to get paint, and sometimes they just don't close. There's nothing worse than coming back to a half-dried pot of paint. Speaking of which, close the daggum things. So I'm going to take that, what was that, rust gray that I just did? Yeah. We're going to take a little bit of that. Around, nope, too much. There we go. And like here on the arms and stuff, we're just going to take and run some lines. Man, I thinned it out way too much. Okay. Like up here on the arms, we're going to run some lines. Get a little bit of definition around it. What is going on with this? Yep, I keep losing the picture on my end. Like the preview that I'm seeing keeps dropping the pic. Like right now. It says that there's no pic. On the back side, we're going to run that along there. And run a couple little bits. Some highlights. Along there. This muscle cord, I don't know what you want to call it. Right there around his elbow, and then back up that way. Over on that. Run that down through there. That back around there. Basically, so you're just breaking up that solid blue field. With a couple of highlights. It's a little stark because the one is so dark and the other one is so bright. But here in a minute, what we'll do is we'll put a wash on it, a blue wash, and we'll blend those two together. There. So coming down his back, we're gonna give him a couple of dashes through there. Little like bone spurs that go along his back. We'll get some of those. Down along the back there, there. Couple of spots on that. Remember, it's gonna dry. When you first put it on, it's going to look a lot different than when it does when it dries. So you may have to go back and just touch those a little bit more. We're going to give a couple of shots on his throat there, on his neck, leading down into the chest. the side. Like I said before, if you're going to spend a little extra time on a model to get it to look right, the big payoff area is like that head and shoulders area. The eyes go to it. Do I do green stuff alters as well? I mean, like modding it with green stuff, or putting extra bits and stuff with green stuff? I really haven't messed with green stuff that much. I've done it for the bases and stuff for like my Stormcast. All their bases and everything have a cobblestone done underneath them. And that's all green stuff. But if you're talking like capes and stuff like that, I haven't. I actually haven't tried to do that. But I don't know. I guess I could give that a shot and see what I could do with it. Just hadn't thought to try it. Alright. I'm going to take... Alright, so here's the difference between the two. This one's a Athonian camo shade. It has that green and brown. Agrax has a brown and red. To give you an idea, that's green. Like high green. Oh, trying to help us. Yeah. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah. So I'm thinking. No, we're gonna go with Agrax first. We're gonna go with the brown. See what we get. So just over these areas where we have we've put that storm vermin. We're gonna go back and we're gonna hit this with the earth shade, which is the browner of the two. I'm putting it on pretty heavy. I'm not so worried about those higher points. I want it to drop into the little recesses and nooks and crannies right next to it, sort of cling to it. So that's why I'm doing this now, because I don't want to do this later and then have to go back and retouch the raised areas. So right around his leg, right there, and then back down. Round on the thigh armor. Like I said, just pushing it up there to that raised area till I get that almost dark lining. But we're cheating. We're using the shade to do it for us. Alright, so we're coming up on the hour mark. He says, as it turns an hour. There's one more of these Kurnoth hunters to do for me with the blades. I've done the brown. This guy's going to be this grayish, dead sort of bark. What do y'all think I should do for the third one? Right now, I'm showing that I'm not transmitting a picture. What do y'all think for the third one? Because I will probably be doing that one off stream. I'm just posting pictures of it because I need to get this unit done. It is Tuesday. All of these need to be done for Saturday. Ready to roll. So did y'all have a break in the picture there for a second, Sandy, or could you tell? I know usually this is just running in the background for you, but like I said, I'm seeing that screen that I see at the beginning. Okay, so there's this one, another Kurnoth Hunter. Also have, I did these two yesterday. One more Kurnoth Hunter. I have to put together an Arch Reverend. And then pretty much as many Dryads as I can do. But somewhere in there, I have to do 5 Chaos Warriors, and they're still sitting on the sprues. So that means I got to put the Arch Reverend together and prime it and everything. And I also have to put the Chaos Warriors for my army together and prime them and all that. So 5, 6, 7 larger ones, and then just Dryads, at least another 10 of those. But they're going to be mainly, there's only really like details up around in their branches and stuff. There's some skulls hiding in there, and they're going to be they're going to be contrast. I wonder what's doing that. I mean, it's storming pretty good here, so maybe Comcast is losing signal some, or I don't know. Just trying to keep the Agrax off his neck and everything, because that will turn it a dark blue that we do not want. Alright. This color on him is starting to come together a little bit. It's still drying, so basically what we did was we added some more of that brown. We got some of those darker areas done in there. The blue is not 100% complete. What we'll do is we'll get a little blue wash on that to darken up some of these recesses and blend that gray and the other blue together. And then I think I'm going to go really dark on these and then try to do like the leaves and stuff in like browns and oranges to make them look sort of dead. So we're at the hour and 5 minute mark, so I think we're going to call it quits for today's stream. We might actually try to do something on Twitch later. Maybe you can watch me lose my mind trying to go through and doing construction on an Arch Reverend. I'm going to save the wings and stuff for that for tomorrow, because that one's a cool one to paint. There's a lot of blending and stuff to do on that one, and it's just sort of an interesting color. So the last one I did was a purple with a white fade, and so we might do like a pinkish color, like a crimson. Not that color. These color. Where the other one was a purple. We might do the pink on this one, see what happens. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll be back again tomorrow, roughly around noon, somewhere in there. Go for about an hour. I did remember to record it, so if you missed something, want to see something else, or want to go back and check out the videos that I've done before, if you go right here, llama juice. It's not a link, but type this in right here, and go over to YouTube, check that out. I put the videos back up after I complete them. It takes about 15-20 minutes, so maybe an hour or so after this it'll be up and ready to go if you want to go back and take a look and see something that I did on one of the models. All the ones from Crisis Protocol, they're in that YouTube vault that I've got, and that game comes out on Saturday, right in the middle of the tournament. Yeah, a lot of plastic. Anyway, like I said, this is all for the GigaCon Grand Melee. If you haven't checked it out, go over there. I will try to put a link at the end of the show notes, or in the chat at the end here. So if you want to check that out, check it out. Come play with us. It's fun. 2,000 points. You got to be painted though. So running out of time. It's Tuesday. This Saturday. And this starts Saturday. Goes Saturday and Sunday. So stay out of the rain if you can. Just try to stay warm. Try to stay motivated, because dreary just. So have fun. Have a good rest of the day, and go paint something.